The harvest is abundant, but the laborers are few. So ask the master of the harvest to send out laborers for his harvest. This is the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 9, verse 38. I was reflecting upon this because this was part of, that phrase was also in the readings last Sunday. I didn't preach about it, but it was working in my heart. And what really, I don't know, I saw it differently, as the living word is. You may read the same thing over again, but every time you read it, something new comes. And for me, it was that it says the harvest is abundant. Meaning, well, actually, let me put it how I filtered it. Before this weekend, I was thinking, the work is abundant. Oh, we have a lot of work to do. I get assigned to a new parent. Oh, there's a lot of work to do. A lot of work. Oh, work. We got to do a lot of work. But it says the harvest is abundant. The harvest is already the fruit of the labor that has been done. Harvest is abundant. It's gathering the fruits, not the, plowing, getting the rocks out, planting, watering, checking out for the bugs and the insects, when it gets too hot or when it gets too cold, water again, work, trim it, that's the work that I think. He's not looking for people to do that work. That work is already done. And my job is just to pick the fruits of someone's work. And in the real context of the gospel, the work is already done by God. My job is just to help pick the fruits of the work He's already done. I'm often thinking, I have to go and start from scratch, start from nothing. No. God has been working. And my job is just to pick the fruit of the work He has already done. So when we apply that to our lives, there may be a situation that you're going through where you think there's a lot of work you have to do. Or maybe there's a lot. Maybe it's not work that you have to do, as if starting from scratch, from nothing. It may be good to start by looking at the work God has already done and build from that. To be open and see the things that God has already done and is doing. You're really not starting from nothing. You're really not in a situation where you have to start from scratch. It is God, the one who creates out of nothing, not us. We are given the opportunity to pick the harvest, to receive, to pick the fruits of the work God has done and is doing in our lives. Well, that's one point. The other point too is, Jesus says the harvest is abundant, laborers are few, so ask the master of the harvest. So notice, the master of the harvest. He is the master of the harvest. To send out laborers to his harvest. So there's also an element of asking for help. Asking for laborers to accompany, to do the work in our lives. Who are those people that God is sending? And perhaps He's been sending you people to help you, and you've been stuck in some form of, no, if I get the help, it has to look like this, like that, like this. If it's not this, then that's not my help that I want. Well, maybe He's giving you help already. And perhaps that person has been knocking at your door. And not perhaps the person you wanted, but it's the one God wanted to help you. Are you allowing that to happen? Is pride getting in the way? Or our own discrimination, our own things of, who is good, who's not, maybe it's time to put that aside and receive the labor that God is sending you to help reap the fruit of what you already have in you by the work of God's hand. And one last thing, that the other thing about praying for workers for the vineyard, I think it's time for us to do so too here at St. Rita. So, who is God sending us to help, to work? I arrived, I'm here, but I'm just one person. Who are the other workers? And of course, the laity has a great responsibility in the work of the vineyard, the work of the Lord. I'm also discerning, okay, who, I have a big house. Maybe another priest. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe, who? I don't know. But let's pray. Let's pray that the Lord send more laborers to this vineyard. Just to be able to pick the very fruitful harvest that is already here, and that we're called to pick, to harvest, to rejoice in it, and to give praise to God for the good things He has already done in our lives. Let's now stand and present our prayers.